Hey guys, what's up? My name's Alyssa at the Title Boxing Club in Columbia, and I'm gonna go ahead and take you through a nice, relaxing, active recovery, functional range conditioning mobility class. First things first, we don't ever wanna stretch these muscles cold, so just start with a nice, easy step jack side to side. By all means, if you would like to take it to that regular jumping jack, you are more than welcome to, but we can keep it nice and light right here. Really go ahead and move those arms through that full range of motion. Tap those toes out side to side and just start getting warm, guys. A few more seconds. We have 3, 2, 1. Good. Just kind of shake it out a little bit. Go ahead, set those feet up slightly wider than shoulder width. I'm gonna do just a quarter squat. I'm not going all the way down. Really just want to start loosening up those hips, knees, and ankles. Nice and light. Not worrying about really working those quads, y'all. Down and back up. Just go ahead, give me a few more right here. We have 3, 2, 1. Good, just kind of give me some butt kicks. Try and get that heel all the way up to that glute. Feel that stretch in that quad and get it loose. We're gonna go ahead and start this out with one of my favorites, ragdolls. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn to the side for you guys. What I want, those feet about hip shoulder width apart, soft bend in those knees. Make sure you don't lock those knees out. We're not stretching those hamstrings right now. Keep it nice and soft. We're gonna take that deep breath in. When we exhale, we're gonna bring it forward to that flat back. Don't round anything out. Nice and flat. Go ahead, just collapse at the bottom. Try and bring those ribs right to those quads. Let that neck hang, hands hang. And then slowly roll it back up. Really tucking those hips under. And then your head should be the last thing that comes up. Let's do that one again. Deep breath in. Exhale it forward, staying flat. Collapse those ribs down to those quads. Let that head hang. And let's roll it back up. Do one more. Remember, keep those knees soft. Inhale. Exhale it forward. Collapse it on down. Take your time coming back up. Really try to work through each vertebrae. And up. Nice, guys. We're going to take these feet a little bit wider and do a ragdoll with a little bit of an around the world. So again, soft bend in those knees. We're gonna inhale it in. Exhale it forward. Again, we're gonna collapse right here. We're gonna shift that weight to one side, follow with those hands, rotate those shoulders out, really reach up and over, take it to the other side, back to center. We're gonna reverse it, shift it to the other side, open those shoulders up, bring it back around and back to center. Reverse, really feel that stretch right through those lats, those obliques. Everything is nice and slow. Keeping those knees bent. Good, guys. Give me one more in each direction. And reverse. We're going to take it back to center and then just roll it back up. Good, guys. Go ahead, bring those knees, feet back in, loosen it back up again. We're going to start working from that neck on down. So again, soft bend in those knees. Think about keeping that pelvis, guys. We want to tuck it under. Don't stick that booty out. Tuck that pelvis under. Relax those shoulders. You can even try and reach those fingertips down to the ground. From here, drop that ear to one shoulder. Roll that neck across those shoulder blades, those collarbones. Take it to the other side. Now, if you want to do a full rotation, that's entirely up to you. If you're doing that full rotation, just make sure you're rotating that direction each time. Or again, just take it from one shoulder across those collarbones to the other. Keep those knees soft. Reach those fingertips towards the ground. Nice and gentle. Good. We have 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, bring that head back up. Taking it down to those shoulders. So we really want to exaggerate these movements, guys. Again, soft knees, pelvis is tilted under. Bring those shoulders forward so you can really expand those shoulder blades in the back. Bring them up and around. Squeeze them together. Forward, all the way up to those ears. Squeeze it together in the back. Just so you guys can see what's going on. Expanding those shoulder blades. All the way up. Squeezing them together in the back. And back down. My knees are soft. My pelvis is tilted under. We're gonna go ahead, give me 1 more. Good. Now we're just gonna reverse. Start by pulling those shoulder blades together, up to those ears, and around and down. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Give me 2 more. Last one. Good. Go ahead, just shake it out a little bit. Shake it out, shake it out. Still gonna keep working on those shoulders, guys. Super important, especially for my boxers. We wanna make sure we've got good range of motion. So, feet hip shoulder width apart, soft bend in those knees, pelvis is tilted under. Hands out at either side. You wanna think about being in a lowercase letter T. Rotate one palm up. Now, when we get into these arm screws, I'm not just turning at the palms. I really want you guys to exaggerate through those shoulders and really lift and rotate. So lift and rotate to one side, lift and rotate to the other. Go ahead, turn, and look at those palms. Good. Now, probably got some Rice Krispies going in your shoulders. I know I do. Try not to keep them pulled up here. Try and relax them back down at the bottom. Good. Really stretch it out. Now we're gonna add a lean to this. When we add that lean, make sure those shoulders don't come forward over those hips. We wanna stay in the same alignment. So, once you lean and reach, really feel through these lats, obliques, that QL, and bring it the other way. Really stretch it out, guys. Soft bend in those knees. Make sure you're breathing. Nice reach. That's it. I'm gonna go 1 more to each side. And last one. Take it back to center. Drop those arms. I know you're probably feeling those in the shoulders, a little bit of burning, but that's okay. We're trying to warm them up. We're gonna go back to that back. We're going to do a little thoracic cat-cow. So that thorax, that upper back portion. Again, pelvis has to be tilted under. I'm gonna go ahead and turn sideways for you. Soft bend in those knees. Pelvis tilted under. Take those fingertips. Put them right on that sternum. From here, I'm gonna make sure my pelvis is tilted under. I'm gonna tuck that chin to my chest. And I'm gonna round that back, trying to think about bringing the backs of my hands together. Tuck and hold. And then pull it back out. Good. Tuck everything under. Expand back out. Keep those shoulders down and relaxed. Soft bend in those knees. Pull it back out. Good, guys. 1 more. Good, nice big stretch. Relax those shoulders. All right, on to my members' favorites, something we like to call slow twerking. We're gonna do that lumbar. Well, first we're gonna do the full back lumbar cat-cow, and then we're just going to work that lower back. So, feet a little wider than shoulder width. Soft bend in those knees. Turn those fingertips in. Place them right above those knees. Now, when we're in this position, guys, I don't want you down here. Keep that chest up, nice and proud. I'm gonna go ahead and turn sideways. From here, really tuck that tailbone under. You're gonna have to squeeze with those glutes and those abs. Tuck your chin to your chest, round through that upper back. As you exhale, bring everything up. Look up to the sky. Good, again, make sure we're not hunched up. Nice and tall. Really tuck it under. Can't just be passive and round, guys. You really have to contract. Good. And extend it on up. Tuck it under. Bring it on up. We're gonna go for one more right here. Really tuck it under. Extend it up. Good. Take it back to that neutral spine and stand it on up. Definitely gonna start feeling this in the lower back, guys. In this next one, we're definitely gonna work on that lumbar lower back region. Being able to move your spine in different segments is really important to your mobility. So really try and work this next one. This one is our slow twerk. So you've twerked before, you get the concept. All I want you guys to do is really isolate that pelvic tilt and work through this lumbar spine. Same setup, soft bend in those knees, hands on those quads. We're not hunched down, we're right here. All I want you guys to focus on, tuck that pelvis under and then extend it out. Tuck it under, extend it out. Now you can see my whole back isn't moving here. Really focusing on that pelvis. When I tuck it under, I'm squeezing my glutes, my abs, and I'm definitely gonna feel this in my lower back. You're gonna feel this in those glutes and hamstrings, guys. But try and isolate that lumbar spine and just work through whatever range of motion you have right now, and we'll just work on expanding that range of motion, guys. Give me 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good, take it back to that neutral spine, stand it back up. All right, time to head over to a wall, guys. All right, guys, we're gonna continue working on opening up that chest, shoulders, and that upper back. So now what I want whichever shoulder is towards that wall, that inside foot is forward. Go ahead, face forward as well, rear foot is back, toes at a comfortable angle. I want those hands extended out in front of you on that surface. Your inside arm is gonna come up, and as it rotates around, turn that upper body towards your wall, rotate, and then come back. Give me that thoracic rotation, and then bring it back forward. That's it, guys. Make sure you breathe. Give me 2 more. Last one. Good. Now we definitely want to turn around and do the other side. So, inside foot is forward, arms shoulder height in front of that wall. Inside arm comes up. Try to turn it all the way around for that thoracic rotation. And bring it back forward, guys. Make sure you exhale. We've got 2 more. Last one. Good. Go ahead and relax. All right, I'm not gonna lie, this next one is super challenging. We've got wall slides with cactus arms. I know, these have got crazy names. I didn't name them. So, go ahead, have your back against that wall, feet slightly forward. We're not taking this down to a wall sit. I just want a soft bend in those knees. Now, here's the really important part. Right now, I've got a gap behind my back. I can slide my hand back here. What I need you guys to do, really tuck that tailbone under so I'm making good contact with the surface behind me. Also think about bringing those lower ribs down. Really press that back right into that wall. Now bring those elbows out to shoulder height. Rotate those hands up. Try and keep your forearms on the back of the wall while still maintaining this good contact back here. Eyes forward. Slide those arms up and then bring them back down to 90. Slide it up. Bring it back down. Now you might not be able to keep your arms on that surface. That is okay. Try and keep them back as far as you can. If you feel yourself losing contact with that wall, go ahead, reset those hips, bring those ribs back down, and take it back to your wall slide. Good. It's a really great chest opener and a super interesting challenge. Good, guys. Go ahead, give me one more. Good, now we're not done in this position. Go ahead, reset that pelvis, bring those ribs back down if you need to get your contact back. Now, elbows out at 90 degrees. Make sure those arms are at 90 degrees. And now I want you to rotate up and rotate down like you're doing a scarecrow. Rotate it up. Rotate it down. Now, you're definitely going to feel those shoulders pull away when you come to this forward rotation. That's okay. Try and maintain that contact with your back and move through whatever range of motion is comfortable for you. Good, guys. Go ahead, give me one more. Good, and just relax those arms. Before we leave this wall, we're gonna do some ragdolls from here just to kind of loosen you guys back up. Go ahead, spread those feet a little wider than shoulder width. Now, we're gonna roll all the way down, thinking about rolling from the neck all the way through that upper back to that lumbar lower spine, and we're gonna roll it back up. So just take a deep breath in. Exhale, drop that chin to your chest. Try and roll it all the way down. Come down as low as is comfortable for you, and then slowly roll it back up. Try and think about making contact with one vertebrae at a time. Back up. Let's do that one again. Deep breath in. Exhale it down. Really try and relax. Let those arms hang. Let that head hang. Try and make contact with those ribs to those quads. And now take it back up. Good work, guys. Hopefully you feel nice and relaxed. But so we're gonna keep staying with our wall and moving it down to our hips next. So we're gonna start working some internal rotation with those hips. This one's definitely gonna be challenging. So what I need you to do, come forward. We're gonna try and get that one hip on that wall. Now, if I were taller, I'd be able to grab up here, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my hands here. I wanna bring one knee out to 90 degrees. I want that ankle underneath that knee. I want a dorsiflexion in my foot. From here, I want to rotate my heel up as far as I can. Now, what this wall is going to prevent me from doing is cheating that motion by popping my butt back. So really think about maintaining contact with those hips against that surface in front of you. Rotate that heel up and come back down, and try not to let that knee drop down here, because you can see I've got a much greater range of motion. I really want to challenge it at this 90-degree angle. Bring it out, hold, and come back in. Good, guys. Make sure you're breathing. I know this is hard. We have 3, 2, 1. Good. Go ahead, just kind of shake that hip out a little bit. But we definitely have to do the other side. So, try and get this hip towards that wall. Adjust your foot as needed. Knee out to the side, 90 degrees. Flex that foot. Bring that heel up. Try not to shift your hips back. And of course, guys, don't be surprised if you discover that you've got a greater range of motion on one side than the other. We all have imbalances. Completely normal. I definitely have a little bit better range on this side. It's tough not letting that knee slide down as we do this. So you need to reset that knee, go right ahead. Good, y'all. I need 3, 2, and last one. Good. Ooh, shake that out. All right, heading on down to those hamstrings, guys. So we've already done that chest stretch up here. We're gonna slide those hands lower and do that puppy wall stretch. So think about having those hands at about hip height. You wanna step back and try and keep those feet underneath those hips. Come on down to flat back. Now by flat back, we're not here. I'm not down here. All right, try and keep it nice and flat. You want your ears in line with those arms, so don't drop that head. We're gonna start with our knees bent. So bend those knees and straighten those knees. Now you might find when you straighten those knees, you're gonna wanna tense up your quad muscles. Tell your body to relax, let those kneecaps drop down and just relax into this stretch. Now if you're not feeling the stretch at this distance, you can bring those feet together for a little bit of an additional stretch. If hip width is too much of a stretch for you, go ahead, bring those feet out wider. Soft bend, and then straighten. So find the distance that works for you. Soft bend, straighten, relax those quads at the top. Hold for just a few seconds, and release that stretch. Relax your quads. We have 2. We have 1 more. Now don't come out of this. Let's get that last stretch and then come back to that bent knee position because we're gonna add a thoracic rotation. So go ahead and give me that soft bend in the knees. Now, again, adjust your feet wider if necessary. And if you can't get one hand to the ground, this is where you want to grab a yoga block, a book, something like that, so you can put some weight on those hands. It's really important that you put weight on those hands so you can release the tension in those hamstrings for this next exercise. So we're going to start. Find the proper distance between your feet. Come back to this puppy stretch, knees bent. Put one hand on the ground. Straighten those legs, try and get a nice thoracic rotation, relax your quads. Again, guys, put your hand on a yoga block, on a dictionary. For those of you who still have phone books, that works too. Good, hold it and breathe. That's it, a few more seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Start by bending those knees. Bring that hand up, and now we're gonna switch sides. Keep those knees bent, hand goes to the ground, straighten those legs, add that rotation. Relax your quads. Oh, I just relaxed mine, huge difference. Good, guys, try and breathe. There. We have 3, 2, 1. Start start by bending those knees. Hands come up, come on up. Good work. All right, got one more for you guys on the wall before we transition back to the floor. We don't want to forget about those calves, y'all. I know a lot of y'all have tight calves. If your calves and your Achilles are tight, it makes it really difficult to get in a good squat position because you're gonna have those heels come up. So let's go ahead and work on loosening those calves. So we got a 3D calf stretch. I want those hands comfortable height, you know, about shoulder eye height. What you're gonna do, step back with one foot. Now, this is the calf I'm stretching. What you need to be aware of is making sure that heel stays on the ground. If that heel starts floating up, you're going a little bit too deep. So we're gonna start, my left foot is gonna step forward. I'm gonna bend into this knee to increase the stretch on that right leg. We're gonna hold for a few seconds. Now this is a 3D calf stretch, so we gotta stretch in 3 different directions. Then I want you to step it out to that 45-degree angle. Get a little bit of a different stretch. And breathe. And now stretch it across. Keep that heel down, guys. Hold and breathe. Good. Take it back to that forward position. Make sure that rear foot stays pointing forward. Don't let it turn out to the side. Press that rear heel down. Keep it on the ground. And press, guys. Good. Bring it out to the side. Good. And step it across. Awesome. Now, of course, we're going to do both sides. So go ahead and switch feet. Make sure heels and toes are pointed in the same direction. Bend into that stretch. Again, guys, you're going to notice that you're going to have more mobility on one side than the other. Totally normal. Work within what range of motion is comfortable for you. Hold and breathe. Good. Step it out to the side. I got a lot more range of motion in this ankle. Good, guys. And then step it across. Try and relax into the stretch. This should be uncomfortable and not painful, all right? There's definitely a difference. Discomfort is fine, pain is not. Good, let's take it back forward. Good, step across. Good, last one. And 3, 2, and 1. Good, shake that out, and then head over to some open floor space. All right, so in this next segment, guys, we're gonna start standing, but I'm definitely gonna work you guys getting down to the ground. We're gonna start with trying to open up those hips a little bit more with one of my favorites, that horse stance squat to your goddess squat. So go ahead and have these feet wider than shoulder width. Now make sure your toes are pointed forwards. I know when we squat, we tend to turn them out at some varying angles, but I really want you to focus on having those toes forward. So when I sit down into this squat, I really need to sit it back. Watch out for those knees caving in when you squat down. Think about pulling back with those glutes and the outside of those quads, really keeping those hips open, and keep those shoulders up. We don't want to come forward. So we're going to sit it down. Take it as low as is comfortable for you. Once you come up, turn those toes out as wide as you can. Take it down to that goddess squat. If you can get lower than those knees, great. If this is as far as you can go, that's also great. You know, start where you start. Bring them forward. Give me that horse stance squat. Turn those toes out. Take it down to that goddess squat. We're gonna be working our way down to doing that really deep squat that you guys hear me talk about in class often. Good. Turn those toes out. Bring it on down. Give me one more. Sit back. Don't let those knees cave in. Open it out. Good. Those hips should be feeling a little bit more open, because now we're going to take it to those bootstrap squats. So for these, we're working those hamstrings as well. Find that foot width that works for you. You can either put those hands in front of you, on those feet, or try and reach behind you. I'm going to come to a slight angle. So we're going to start by trying to take it down to that deep squat position. Go ahead, let those toes turn out. Keep those ankles more underneath those hips. If my feet are out here, it's a lot harder to get down. You also want to try and work on keeping those heels down. Again, if you have tighter Achilles, they're going to come up, that's okay, but work over time to bring those heels down. From here, you can either put those hands in front of you, grab those feet, or if you want to be super awesome, try and reach between those legs. As you stand up, let those heels rotate out so you can take it to that hamstring stretch. Again, just like we were doing on the wall, let those quads relax when you come to this position. Hold for a few seconds. Sit it back down. Stand it back up. Go ahead and come back down. From here, you can also kind of give me some rockers side to side. Work on opening up those hips a bit more. Work on a little ankle mobility. Good. Again, you can grab those feet. Relax those quads. Sit it back down. Good. That's it, guys. We're going for one more here, all right? Relax your quads. Take it back down to that deep squat. Now, before I let you guys out of this position, we're really going to be working those adductors. So have those hands right here so you can feel the backs of your legs against those triceps. Now, if this is not comfortable for you, go ahead, grab a yoga block, that book, and go ahead and sit up on it. Just make sure you're not, we don't want to be too comfortable. We want to have a little bit of this tension. But from here, what I want you to work on doing, hold one knee back and then the other. You really have to squeeze with that glute. Pull back with that adductor. Good, guys. Work on this segmental mobilization. Sometimes it takes a while for you to learn how to communicate with specific segments of your body, but this is a great time to practice it. Good, guys. We're going for one more on each side. Pull it on back, squeeze. And last one. From here, sit it on down. Nice and easy. And take it to some 90-90s. Really keep working on those hips. So, to start, you can go ahead, lean back on those palms, find a comfortable distance. Doesn't really matter which way those fingertips are pointed. Just don't lock those elbows out. What's key? Make sure you bring those legs as wide as you can. I want that 90-degree angle right here in that knee, and I want that dorsiflexion in my ankle. From here, I want to keep my legs wide, drop them from one side to the other. If you can only get here, that's okay. Just try and rotate from one side to the other. We're just going to start getting them loose. Make sure you keep these legs wide. We don't want to start collapsing in. We'll get to those. That's a slightly different exercise. So drop it side to side. Good. Now, once you're comfortable here, if you want, take those hands off the ground and continue this rotation. You'll also find when you start doing this, you're gonna start butt walking forward. That's okay. Just don't run into anybody. Good. So, now that we're a little bit loose, we're gonna go ahead and add a bit of a pigeon stretch. So, with those knees dropped to one side, you can do this without using your hands, or if you wanna go ahead and give yourself that little assist, go ahead and put those hands on the ground. Try and bring your chest down to that shin. Hold it, come up, and rotate. So again, you can do this without those hands. Come on up and switch. Modify with them. Come on down. And switch it, guys. I'm gonna go for one more on each side. Last one. Good. Take it back to that starting position. I think I've kind of come forward into that camera just a little bit. So from here, we're going to continue to drop it to one side. We're really going to work on that hip mobility on that rear leg. So go ahead and make sure your shoulders are pointing towards that lead leg. Now, let me turn this a little bit. If you would like to modify, put your hand right here on the ground to give you a little assistance. What we're going to do, lift that rear leg up, swing it forward, put it down, give me a little bit of a forward fold, come up, bring it back around, pick it up, swing it around. We want to make that figure four with our legs, come forward, good, put it on back. Again, you can have your hands right here for a little assistance, pick that leg up, swing it forward, stretch it out, bring it on back. Give me one more on this side, guys. Bring it forward. Awesome. You just gotta flip those legs to the other side. We're going for 4 on this side. So again, put that hand down to your side if you would like the assistance, or try it without that hand down. Bring it forward, stretch. You're gonna find that a lot of functional range conditioning and mobility is not always about that flexibility. It's gonna be about some strength training of some small muscle groups that often get overlooked. Sometimes the reason we have tight muscles is because we have weak muscles. So that's one of the reasons we wanna work on this. Good, guys. Go ahead, give me one more. Good. So now we're going to take it into shin box. It's very similar to those 90-90s, but what I want this time is for you to bring that rear knee into contact with that front foot, right in the bottom of that foot. We're going to start like we did with those 90-90s. You can either have your hands here or go ahead and stay upright. And let's just start with working this motion side to side. It's a little bit tighter, definitely more narrow between those knees. Again, have those hands down if you would like a little bit of assistance. Good, guys. Once we're comfortable here, we're gonna add that tripod. So we're gonna be working on stretching that hip flexor. Modify, put those hands on the ground, come up. Really think about pressing through that hip flexor. Sit it back down, bring it the other way. Hands on the ground, come up. Extend through that hip flexor, sit it back down. You can also do this without those hands. Come up, press it forwards, sit it back. Good, guys. That's it. I'm going to take it one more in each direction. Bring it on up. up. Now, we're gonna stay here and do some windshield wipers. I'm gonna go ahead and face you guys. So, from here, all I'm gonna do is rotate those shins to the opposite side. So this is the movement right here. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna sit it down, come up, rotate, sit it down. When I sit it down, I've gotta sit behind that lead foot. Again, put those hands on the ground, come up, rotate, put those hands on the ground to sit back down. We're trying to work that internal and external hip rotation at the same time, guys. Good. Don't forget to breathe. That's it. Going one more on each side. Good. And go ahead if you want, just kind of drop those knees side to side a little bit. Nice and easy. We're sure those hips feel nice and juicy now. That's what we're going for. All right, guys. Last couple of exercises. We're gonna take this to quadruped. That's that hands and knees position. So make sure your hands are beneath your shoulders. Knees are right beneath those hips. Knees a little wider than hip width. This one's gonna be a little bit more dynamic, so we definitely wanna get some movement. We're gonna start with hip cars before we add on. So, cars, controlled articular rotations, which means I'm not doing this. All right, guys, we really need to control this motion. You're gonna start, kick that heel back. I want a good 90-degree angle between that knee and that ankle, and this foot needs to be flexed, not pointed. From here, bring it out to the side, drop it back in, and then we're gonna reverse that direction. Bring it out, rotate that heel up, bring it back and back in. Try not to get all wiggly in that spine. Try and hold it neutral, bring it around and back. Make sure you're breathing. Keep that head in good neutral spinal alignment. Don't want to drop that neck down. We don't want to pull it up. Good, guys. Give me one more. Good. Let's go ahead and hit that other side. Go ahead and reset those hips and hands. Bring that foot up. Get out and around. And reverse direction. Good work, guys. Control this motion. Work through a range that is comfortable for you. Give me one more. Good. You want to kind of shift those hips side to side a little bit. All right. Now we're going to get super dynamic with this. So follow it along. We're going to start in that quadruped position. I'm gonna stay facing this way. Bring that foot out. Kick it out like you're doing that dirty dog side kick. When you bring it back in, put that foot on the ground. Come up to your split kneeling position. This foot is pointed out, toes are out. Press in to that stretch. Reach up and over. Good, guys. Take it back. Bring that knee back in. So out to the side, kick it, and come up to that split kneeling position. Press into that groin stretch. Reach it up and over. Good. Back to quadruped. Kick it, plant it, stretch it. Don't hold your breath. That's it, guys. Let's do one more. Kick it, plant it, and stretch. Good. Let's go ahead and take it to the other side. Different verse, same as the first. Kick it out, Put that foot on the ground. Come on up. Stretch into that groin stretch. Reach up and over. Good, guys. Come back to quadruped. Kick it out. Plant it. Stretch it. Good. 2 more. Kick it. Plant it. Stretch it. All right, last one. Go ahead, kick it. Plant that foot. And stretch. Good, guys. I'm gonna finish this out with a couple of cobra pose exercises. So take it to quadruped. Go ahead, come on down to cobra. So slide those hands back underneath your shoulder. Press that chest up. Try not to be all hunchy. Come on up now. If this is too much of a stretch, you can modify right here on Sphinx. That is a-okay. Keep that neck up tall, chest proud. Press it up. From here, we're gonna do some alternating three-legged cobra. Don't ask me why it's three-legged cobra. Cobras have no legs, but it's a nice little quad stretch. So from here, I'm gonna bend that foot. This time, I do want you to point that toe. With that toe pointed, press it back up. Get that nice quad stretch. Good. And switch, point that toe. Bring it on up. Try and relax. Good, guys. The more you can bend that foot, the more of a stretch you're gonna get in that quad. Last one on this side. Last little hip opener right here. From here, bring that knee out to your 45-degree angle. Not angle. I want your ankle underneath your knee. Foot flexed again. From here, press it on up. Open up those hips. Again, if this is too tight, go ahead, take it to Sphinx. That is okay. Find what works for you. And again, we don't want to be all hunchy here. Tall and proud with those shoulders. Hold and breathe. In 3, 2, 1. Let's finish it out on the other side. Take it on up. Good, guys. Try to open up that hip. We have 3, 2, 1. We're gonna just finish it out with everyone's favorite. Go ahead, flip it on over, lay it on back. Let those palms come out to your side, hands up. Relax. Take some nice relaxing deep breaths. Whenever you're ready, you don't have to move just yet. Whenever you're ready, just go ahead and sit it back up. And like we always like to end class in the club, snap it up, guys. Go work. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will be back with some more active recovery and mobility for you later. Bye.